news. The Federal Executive Council approved the construction of 132 kV substations in NGURU and GEIDAM, YOBE State. The Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, GODWIN, EMEFIELE, finally bows to pressure to revise the bank's cash withdrawal limit policy. United Nations Security Council resolution urged the junta to immediately release all arbitrarily detained prisoners in Myanmar. Confederation of African Football (CAF) president says an African nation will reach the World Cup final in 2026. And this is the MLC TV news reaching you live from the city of Lokoja, the confluence state of Nigeria. I am Matthias Ayodeji Peter. Good day. The President Muhammadu Buhari met with the presidential candidate of the All Progressive Congress, Bola Tinubu, at his official residence at the State House Abuja. This is Tinubu's first known meeting with the president since the latter returned to Abuja last Sunday after a week-long U.S.-African Leaders Summit in Washington, D.C. The presidency said Buhari is ready to campaign for the presidential candidate Bola Tinubu and all candidates of the All Progressive Congress with full energy and conviction. These follow concerns in certain quarters of the APC that the president has not featured in campaigns since the national launch in Jos, Plateau State in mid-November. However, the presidency said while Buhari remains committed to party politics, his functions and duties as the country's chief executive will take precedence. Citing the president's remark to the Nigerian community in Washington, D.C. in the course of his recent visits to the United States, the presidency said Buhari is ready to campaign for the party's victory in the general elections next year. The YOBE State Governor MYANMAR has commended the President Muhammadu Buhari-led Federal Executive Council for approving the construction of 132 kV substations in NGURU and GEIDAM. Buni, in a statement by his Director General Press and Media Affairs, Maman Mohammed in Damaturu, said the substations would improve the lives of the people in the border communities. He said that the communities were enterprising with robust commercial activities and would be improved with a steady electricity supply. Boni explained that the substations will also boost the power supply to create wealth and employment opportunities. The governor said the Buhari administration has given the people of YOBE a sense of belonging and they are truly appreciative. He called on the people of the state to continue to support the Buhari administration for more dividends of democracy. The Kogi State House of Assembly Ad Hoc Committee on Transport has asked the Kogi State Ministry of Transportation and the Office of Kogi State Security Advisor to arrest the ugly trend of harassment, arbitrary arrest and outrageous fines being perpetrated by the officials of the Kogi State Transport Management Agency, KOTRAMA, and the task force on the use of mega terminal. Chairman of the committee and Deputy Speaker, Kogi State House of Assembly, Alpha Momo Rabiu, gave the directives as an investigative hearing on the unpleasant activities of the task force on the use of the mega terminal and KOTRAMA in Lokoja. He said KOTRAMA was acting outside its law as no law was ever made by the Assembly to suppress those it should be safeguarding. Chairman of the ad hoc committee stressed that the mode of operation of the staff of the agency and that of the task force were not in tandem with that of the law that bettered KOTRAMA, hence the need for the Assembly to address the abnormalities, as the Assembly was also inundated by plethora of petitions on the activities of KOTRAMA and the task force. A member of the committee and member representing Omala constituency, Ilario Collins Musa, alleged that motorists were billed outside the prescribed fines in the KOTRAMA law and fines paid into private account rather than government account. He said there was need to train the staff of KOTRAMA on their functions. Another member of the committee and member representing Olamaboro constituency, Bobby Alewo Uja, said the activities of KOTRAMA and that of the task force were constituting nuisance to motorists and tarnishing and portraying the state in a bad light to travelers passing through the state. Responding to some of the allegations, the state security advisor to the governor, Jerry Omodara, said his office only provided security components to the task force, saying his office had nothing to do with revenue collection. He appreciated the Assembly for the observation raised on the activities of the task force and KOTRAMA, promising to address the concerns raised. On his part, the State Commissioner for Transport, Baron Okoli, said that no staff of his or that of KOTRAMA was empowered to collect fines as the ministry does not run any revenue account. The Lagos State government has unveiled a new health initiative, a co-social health alliance, to improve access to health for vulnerable and indigent residents of the state. The General Manager, Lagos State Health Management Agency, Dr. Emmanuel Azamba, said during the media launch on Wednesday that the initiative seeks to enhance the quality of healthcare and most importantly achieve universal health coverage by enabling residents, especially the vulnerable, to have access to quality healthcare. Zamba said the scheme was put in place to ensure that equal opportunity is given to those who cannot afford to pay Ilera Eco premium in line with Section 20 of the Lagos State Health Scheme Law. In his remarks, the State Commissioner for Health, Professor Akin Abayomi, who was represented by the Ministry's Director, Medical Administration, Training and Program, Dr. Fumilayo Shokombi, said the state government continues to make giant strides towards sustainable development goals and especially the universal health coverage journey of the state. The Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu called for religious tolerance among residents of the state, especially among religious leaders. He made the appeal at the Lagos State House of Assembly end of the year Thanksgiving/Christmas outreach held at the Assembly Complex, Alausa, Ikeja. Sanwo-Olu used the medium to appeal to the spiritual leaders not to relent in praying for the state and the country for God's peace and tranquility to continue to reign. And for the prayers of the righteous availeth much. There should be religious tolerance among residents of the state, said Sanwo-Olu, especially among religious leaders. He further stated that as the country prepared for the general elections in 2023, Sanwo-Olu prayed that the aspiration of the state and their leader, former governor of the Center of Excellence, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, would receive uncommon favor of God. In his remarks, the Speaker of the House, Mudashiru Obasa, said there were positive projections in favor of the preside. He said they are celebrating the successes achieved by the state, all thanks to Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the presidential candidate of the All Progressive Congress, who sacrificed and created the direction for development and progress, started the foundation, and began the structure upon which successive administrations have built. The governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, GODWIN EMEFIELE, has finally bowed to the pressure to revise the bank cash withdrawal limit policy. In a circular by the CBN's Director of Banking Supervision, Haruna Mustafa, the CBN said it had reviewed upwards the maximum weekly limit for cash withdrawal across all channels by individuals and corporate organizations to 500,000 naira and 5 million naira respectively. The CBN attributed the development to the feedback it got from stakeholders. For transactions above the withdrawal limit, financial institutions are required to get details of the customer and upload same on the CBN portal created for the purpose. It was also noted that third-party checks above 100,000 naira would not be eligible for payment over the counter, while the extant limit of 10 million naira on clearing checks still subsists. The CBN urged banks to encourage customers to use alternative channels, internet banking, mobile banking apps, USSD, cards, POS, e-Naira, etc. to conduct their banking transaction. The CBN also said that it recognized the vital role that cash plays in supporting underserved and rural communities and would ensure an inclusive approach as it implements the transition to a more cashless society. The Apex Bank has also directed banks to load only 200 naira and lower denominations into their ATMs. And now on politics. The Ibira Community Agenda held an interfaith peace event at Coca-Cola Depot, GRA Okene, to further emphasize the need to have a peaceful election in 2023. They encourage electorates who have not collected their PVC to do so. In the event, the Chief Executive of Connected Development, Hamza Lamar, urged the people of Ibira to uphold peace, unity, and love to build a better society. Our reporter has more.
The people of Kogi Central were charged to shun violence and hate speech during campaigns, elections, and after, to build a strong and progressive state they will all be proud of. The Christian Association of Nigeria Kogi Central Coordinator, Job Sani Apana, who gave the charge, further advised all registered electorate to collect their permanent voter card and exercise their franchise during the 2023 elections.
Without peace, no development can take place. Even those who are looking for position, without peace, they will not have peace themselves. We have a great role to tell our congregation to go and obtain their peace. In fact, I am in the vanguard of that, telling our people to go and obtain their PVCs, because that is the power, is our voting power. Without peace, without PVC, we cannot vote. So it is important for religious leaders to tell their congregations to go and obtain their PVCs.
He appealed to politicians not to engage thugs, saying they will only cause pain and confusion in society.
A message to our politicians is that, like I said during my speech, it is not enough to gather to talk about peace. It is not enough to pray even for peace. But what is important is that our politicians should be seen as working towards peace. They should tell their followers to make peace. Tell their followers to, if they don't recruit talks don't recruit themselves.
The president of Ibira Community Agenda, Yusuf Andas, assured the people of Kogi Central of absolute peace, saying their association will not relent on their horses to guide the people in the right path.
In olden days, election time like this, our people always fight. We drive ourselves outside the town. Everybody will run away from the town. You are coming from another place, you not meet anybody in the town. We burn our houses, and that's why we decide to launch this agenda, so that our program will be peace. We are going to invite those INEC people and talk to them, or we can meet them and talk to them because of peace. We want peace this time around. That's why we name this community peace.
The People's Caring and civil society activists, whose desire has always been how the people can enjoy the dividend of democracy, including advocating for good governance at all times, Hamza Lawal, the chief executive of Connected Development, said it is time for the people to stay together with the purpose of electing credible leaders that will have their interest at heart. Hamza called on youth to shun anything capable of disrupting the peace of the people, as he commended the present administration of Yahya Bello to have shown the way to better living by providing for the people the most needed care, which is security.
Most importantly, as we go into festive period, let us continue to organize, let us dialogue and ensure that peace is in the center of our democracy and the forthcoming election. And if we have agreed that we would embrace peace, we'll make the job easier for security agents and also INEC officials. And I believe that this would allow civil society observe this election and provide independent assessment.
Still on peacekeeping and violence-free election, Hamza Lawal joined the peacekeeping movement, prayed with the Muslim faithful in the mosque, and after which he encouraged them to preach peaceful coexistence between the people of different faiths. He kicked against any foul talks that could endanger the life of the people.
And as we go into election, we must do away with sentimental issues. We must talk about issues that affect you and I. We must do away with religion. We must do away with ethnicity, because each and every one of us first are humans, and then we're citizens of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and we are also stakeholders and partners towards progress and prosperity. And this is my message today in my community and to the people of Nigeria.
He said no development without peace, and in the absence of peace, education and health structures break down, systems to provide infrastructure disintegrate, and legal commerce is crippled. That means peace remains a goal for introspective individuals around the world. Khadijat Mohammed, reporting for MLC TV.
The General Superintendent of Deeper Life Bible Church, Pastor Williams Kumoyi, has urged Nigerians to vote consciously in the 2023 general elections to elect new leaders for the country. The convener of Global Crusade with Kumoyi, who said that the government and appropriate authorities had assured all of peaceful, free and fair elections, said the citizens owe it a duty to perform their civic duties. Kumoyi spoke with journalists on the arrival in Ado-Ekiti for a crusade tagged Transformation for Total Triumph. He said he believed that every citizen knows that it is their right as well as their responsibility to vote for a leader of their choice. He urged everyone to vote consciously, that people should go to the polls and vote for the leaders. The cleric, who said that the GCK crusade holding in Ekiti State and as well across the globe were targeted at ensuring the transformation of lives, and the global community, said his vision and focus that whatever he learned, whatever he got spiritually, academically and vision-wise, he wants to pass to the next generation. We'll go on a short break now. We'll be right back.
Get human interest stories right here on MLC TV with entertainment, sports, business, culture, tourism, and fashion news stories all featured on MLC TV. Not forgetting political and current affairs news, state and federal government and people's matters will be discussed regularly on MLC TV. MLC TV, your one-stop online destination for unbiased, accurate news, entrepreneur ideas, and youth matters to the rest of the world. MLC TV, reaching everywhere, informing everyone.
Welcome back. And on foreign, United States President Joe Biden told Ukrainian leader Volodymyr Zelensky after a meeting at the White House on Wednesday that Ukraine would never stand alone. Ukraine's fight is part of something much bigger, Biden said at an ongoing joint press conference with Zelensky by his side, pledging that the United States would lend its support against Russia's aggression for as long as it takes. The Patriot missile system the United States is providing to Ukraine will significantly strengthen the country's air defenses against Russia attacks. Zelensky said through a translator at a White House joint news conference alongside his U.S. counterpart Biden. Zelensky said this is a very important step to create a secure airspace for Ukraine. The United Nations Security Council called for Myanmar's junta to release Aung San Suu Kyi as it adopted its first ever resolution on the situation in Timor-ridden Southeast Asian country. The 15-member council has been split on Myanmar for decades and was previously only able to agree on formal statements about the country, which has been under military rule since February 2021. Suu Kyi, who is 77 years old, has been a prisoner since the army toppled her government almost 2 years ago and violently cracked down on dissent. Wednesday's resolution urged the junta to immediately release all arbitrarily detained prisoners, including Suu Kyi and ex-president Win Myint. It also demanded an immediate end to all forms of violence and asked for all parties to respect human rights, fundamental freedoms, and the rule of law. The adoption marked a moment of relative council unity in a year in which divisions have been heightened by Russia's invasion of Ukraine. The text was adopted with 12 votes in favor. Permanent members China and Russia abstained, opting not to waive vetoes following amendments to the word in India also abstained. United States Secretary of State Antony Blinken said the resolution sent a strong message from the world that the junta must end its violence across the country and free prisoners. The Gambia's government says it has thwarted an attempt to stage a coup. 4 soldiers had been arrested and 3 allegedly accomplices were on the run, a statement said. It is unclear who exactly was behind the attempt to overthrow President Adama Barrow, who won a second term in elections last year. The Gambia is a largely stable country in West Africa which is popular with holidaymakers because of its beaches and wildlife. The capital, Banjul, is peaceful with life going on as normal. No gunshots have been heard and there is no sign that loyalist forces have been deployed to secure strategic sites. The government statement, however, said that the military reservists have been put on standby. It added the situation is under total control. Of a coup attempt first surfaced on Tuesday, the army denied it, saying it had only carried out a military drill. And now on sports.
And on sports updates, Muscalino and Ozone emerged as champions of the Lagos State Table Tennis League, concluded at the National Stadium, Surulere, Lagos. A total of 28 teams registered for the championship, with 4 of them making it to the grand finale, with Muscalino's men's team lifting the trophy, defeating I and Urology 3-0 in the one-sided match that ended in favor of Muscalino. In the women's final, Ozone showed their supremacy over Banana Royal Peace with a convincing 3-0 win to lift the coveted trophy. Captain of the victorious Ozone team, Bisola Asaju, commended LSSTTA for putting up a fantastic table tennis league. Etim Orok of Muscalino Titi said he is excited to come to Lagos to play with his team here and win the first Lagos State Table Tennis League. An excited chairman of the LSTTA, Tunji Lawal, described the tournament as a successful one despite the challenges. Still on sport, an African nation will reach the World Cup final in 2026, Confederation of African Football President Patrice Motsepe said on Wednesday, as he reflected on the continent's successful campaign in Qatar. The South African believe Morocco's pioneering run to the 2022 World Cup semi-finals in Qatar has laid a groundwork regarding both belief and ambition ahead of the next finals. It is a bold claim given that Morocco failed by an incredible home support, given the proximity of Qatar to North Africa, are the sole side to have ever contested the semi-final out of the 54 African visit for the tournament. However, after Africa's most successful World Cup ever, Moseb also recalled that the continent has previously won the Olympics through both Nigeria in 1996 and Cameroon in year 2000. And straight to Europe, just few days after the World Cup in Qatar, teams in England has resumed hostilities in the round of 16 of the EFL Cup played Tuesday and Wednesday. Wolves defeated Gillingham by 2-0. Southampton defeated Lincoln City by 2-1. Newcastle defeated Bournemouth by 1-0. MK Dons lost 3-0 to Leicester City. Charlton and Brighton played out a goalless draw but went on to win 4-3 on penalties. Blackburn Rovers were defeated by Nottingham Forest by 4-1. Manchester United also defeated Burnley by 2-0. And that's sport update on MLC TV News. I am Malik Jonah reporting. Back to our caster for more stories.
On our entertainment news, Africa's longest running and most successful drama series, Tiso, has hit a new milestone. The show is hitting a 3,500 episode turning point December 22, 2022. Speaking about the show hitting a 3,500 episode, Executive Head of Content and West African Channels Multi-Choice, Dr. Busola Tejumola, said the show has maintained its status as one of Africa's most successful drama series for over 14 years. This is not a small feat, and she believes their audience continues to tune in to watch the series every weekday because it shows real life, real people, and everyday circumstances. In honor of this monumental event, Africa Magic is releasing a documentary titled Through the Decades, A Tinsel Story. The documentary follows all the changes, faces, improvements, and even losses the show have experienced over the 14 years it has been airing on television. Since the show launched in 2008, the producers have reimagined it several times, drawing audiences in with intriguing storyline which speaks to love, influence, and scandal sets against the backdrop of the Nigerian film industry. The documentary is a unique feature that highlights the journey of the trailblazers Tiso through the eyes of its creators, stakeholders, cast, and crew as it celebrates its 15 seasons and 3,500 episodes. It will feature current and past cast members of the show, current and past Mnet Africa Magic stakeholders, the original content creators of Tiso and pioneer producer of the show, as well as key industry icons like Joke Silva, Tade Ogido, Tunde Kilani, R&D, and more. Tiso is not only the longest running show on television, it still ranks during its time and slots at the recently won an award at the 2022 Africa Magic Viewers' Choice Award. The show is also the first series to embark on a multi-cam studio shoot in Nigeria. One of its most respected and oldest cast members, Taiwo Ajaila Set, has also won the 2022 EMVCA's Industry Merit Award. Over the years, Tiso has served as a major launch pad for many of Africa's best-known faces on television, including Gideon Okeke, Osas Igodaro, Damilola Adegbite, Chris Atto, Timini Igbosun, Joseph Benjamin, Blossom Chukwujeku, Femi Jacobs, and many others. Fast-rising comedic act Oluwatobi Owomoyela, popularly known as Peteru, is dead. It was reported that the Ibadan-based comedian, who is known for his hilarious Yoruba take on the popular Big Brother Naija show, died on Wednesday, December 21st, after battling cancer. Nollywood actress Funmi Awelewa expressed her sadness as regards the untimely passing. She posted a plain black image on her Instagram page with many heartbreak emojis. Awelewa wrote, "Peteru, unquestionable God." Another Nollywood actor, Muyiwa Ademola, shared a video on his Instagram page mourning the deceased. The comedian, who is said to be the only son of a family of 7, was well known for his unique comedic troupe of mimicking people. He was also an MC and an on-air personality in Ibadan. He had just buried his father in November of this year. And that's the size of our package today. Join us tomorrow at the same hour to watch our news as we give you updates on happenings within and across the globe. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Malachi TV, like and follow our Facebook page, MLC TV, Instagram, MLC TV 2021, Twitter at MLC TV1. For your event coverage, information, contribution, advert, and sponsorship, please call any of our numbers displayed on your screen. Join us Friday and Saturday to watch our special programs. It's Malachi TV, reaching everywhere, informing everyone. I am Matthias Ayodeji Peter. Please continue to be your brother's keeper to build a united and peaceful society together. Thanks for watching till I come your way tomorrow. Bye.